Today we're going to jump into something new. I've been a mechanic most of my life, and I normally don't fall for the gimmick stuff that you can buy, like oil additives and stuff like that. Just never been a believer in that stuff. But I recently got turned on to Stage 8, the locking bolt system, that company, and checking out their product. So I was like, what the hell? Let's try it, because header bolts on these things always fall out. GM probably should have got with this company for their LS stuff, because the bolts that aren't seized in the head or broke off are usually missing. I got a set. We're going to put them on the headers of the Monte Carlo. Simple deal. Comes with the bolts. They are recessed for, or they have the ring in it for the lock. The little locking tabs, and of course we're going to call these Jesus clips, because taking off a clip like this, normally you go to pry it off and that thing will just take off, and of course you always say Jesus. So today we're going to install these on the headers of the Monte Carlo. Now, I've not done these before. I've never used the product before. Seems to be pretty legit, and if everything works the way they say it do, or it looks like it's going to, then these things, they can't loosen up and they can't fall out. So let's put a few on and see. Okay, it seems to be a pretty straightforward process. I cut this gasket because these two tubes are actually removable, separate from the front two. G-body problems. So I got the gasket for the back two cylinders to separate them. So start those two bolts. I notched the gasket here after I cut it, so we can just drop it in. Moving them ahead, so you don't want to get overexcited with them. Ain't nothing worse than pulling the threads out. Tight. And then these have several positions they can go on. Of course, that's going to go over and hit the flange, so it won't turn. So to loosen this bolt, it would rotate that way. So you'd want to get this as close to the flange as possible so it can't turn. That needs to go just, well, I don't want to tighten it too tight and pull the threads out, so we'll just go there with it. Take the Jesus clip. I'm going to hold that thing with one finger, clip it on, done. And just man that one on there with her fingers. Just like that. Now I don't think there's any way these things are going to come off or the bolt's going to loosen up. Just locks right on there. It'll work a little bit, but I'm sure the end result is going to be worth it. There. So you get the general idea. I'm impressed. Like, I don't think we could, that's only going to come over so far. That one too. I'm sure you could take some time to fine tune it so this is right up against that. But yeah, not bad at all. Company's been around for a while. From what I've been told by talking to them, they are big in the side-by-side world and like the Baja 1000 and all that type of sports. I have seen them on the hot rods in the past. I've never personally used them. This is the first time. So, and I'll say I'm pretty impressed with the deal. I don't see how the bolts could come out or even loosen up. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of these things and keep an eye on them. Of course, I'm gonna race the shit out of this car, and we'll just keep an eye on them to see if clips fall off or they loosen up or whatever the case may be. But for now, we're gonna put them on there and tighten the hell out of them and lock them on there and roll with it. We'll finish putting these locks on. Call it good. And I'll show you the end result. Got the whole locks on there. This wouldn't end up where I needed it to, but the cool thing about it is they make all different styles. Like that's a different style retainer, and I ended up using one of those on that one too. They make all different sizes of them. This one's like really long. Short ones, ones that go up against the header tube, and then the bent ones that I'm using for the big block. So scale from 1 to 10, pretty impressed with these things. a little time consuming to get them on, but in the long run, if the bolts don't fall out and you don't blow the header gaskets out of them, that little bit of time is absolutely worth it. So go check them out. Stage 8 locking bolt systems.